scream and shout, you wildin'. Are you calling for a challenge? Cause I'll tell you what I'm doing tonight, Could it be a
team? It's your girl MAEVUIM, and today I am going to do my brutally honest thoughts on Black women and obesity. And a forewarning before I start my video, I would like to say I'm not tolerating any condoning and slander, propaganda, or limited beliefs that are going to promote negative chain reactions on social media. You will be blocked. No further explanation. That energy is prohibited from my YouTube channel. You've been warned. I don't have room for anybody else who isn't solution-based or solution-oriented. And, you know, to those of you who are tuning in with that mindset of producing better outcomes, thank you. So, I want it to be quick because I'm actually about to work out and I don't want to be preachy. I want to be real. My honest thoughts on like Black women and obesity is like a lot of Black women are living life in defensive mode due to extreme personal violations. So stuff like abuse, assault, manipulation with mass media. Some women have really, especially Black women, is like horrific horror stories. I know like not a lot of them break out of that chain or break out of living life in defense mode because what the circumstances are, you're allowing it to consume you versus overriding it. So when you go through stuff that alters your brain chemistry in a negative way, like trauma, abuse, etc., manipulation, and then you got mass media propaganda and then social media and then the high dopamine levels that come, the sensory stuff that comes with social media is pretty deep. The way how it's designed, those website developers are geniuses, and I give credit when credit's due. It's all in what your intent is. But in order for like Black women to get into defense mode after all those like traumatic events or how to get through them, most of them, their coping mechanism is to eat. Like I said, like nurture is the root word in nutrition. So they result to eating crappy foods and to soothe and hold a temporary solution to those wounds, which tricks your brain chemistry into relieving a sense of dopamine to give you a false sense of satisfaction as if it patched the wound. It's like putting a band-aid on the problem. Like it's like putting band-aid onto a bullet wound, basically. That's a really harsh you know, analogy, but think about it. If you're not using narcotics to soothe your issues or anything else, you're gonna think food is safe, one of those safer options to cope. And you know, anything could be good or bad, and it's all in the game of perspective. But junk food and the amount of additives in that shit, I'm sorry, it's so hard to break like it's nicotine. Okay, the calories in those stuff is high. Even though you will never feel satisfied eating like a full bag of hot Cheetos, the calories are high, and it's gonna give you a false sense of relief when you eat it because it tastes so good. But it's only temporary. You're gonna feel good now, but it's gonna cost you later. So those foods that have zero charge, basically zero positive charges, are gonna trick your brain chemistry into thinking that it's giving you the satisfaction that you need to get past those initial feelings that you were feeling, and you're gonna eat a lot of it and get nothing. And that's ultimately why I think is one of those contributing factors into obesity. Is like you can eat it, you will never feel full. And that's the thing, it's designed to be that way. Those foods are designed to not make you full. It's a snack food. Okay, I'll give credit when credit due, because I love me some Cheetos. I eat it like once in a blue moon, but if you're eating as like a foundation into your lifestyle, that's gonna add up later. You may not feel like you're eating much now, but baby, those calories add up, okay? Energy can't be created or destroyed, so please recognize that. My second brutally honest thoughts about the correlation in Black women and obesity is your environmental circumstances play a key role into what your lifestyle will look like, okay? Like, think about it. What are you consuming energetically every day to produce a productive lifestyle? Everything is energy. One of Newton's laws. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. So if you think, you know, if you think that you can really escape one of the universal laws, you can't. Everything is tied into something. So think about it. Who are you around? What are you watching? What are the music that you're listening to? Because I guarantee you, those things all contribute into your genetic makeup, into the decisions that you make. So if you're listening and watching stuff that's negative, you're gonna go after more of a negative lifestyle. You know, people that always say, oh, I have a gut feeling and this and that, it's gonna be hard to dictate where the source of that energy is coming from if you're only putting negative stuff into your body. If you're only listening to stuff that, you know, music that degrades you, or the intention is like, if you don't have an intentional purpose or reasoning for moving the way you're moving, it's consuming you. Instead of you consuming it for your good, it is consuming you for their good, if that makes sense. So let's just say if I'm listening to a guy that's talking bad about black women, and you know, let's just say if I'm on social media, on TikTok, and I see a bunch of likes and all these hearts and all these comments and all these shares, you're gonna start to believe that shit is true. You're gonna start to believe that it's true about you, and your body will never lie to you. When you get anxiety, when you start sweating, when you start itching, when your foot starts tapping, you start fidgeting, that is your body responding to something that's triggering you. And you need to watch what you're consuming, because when your body starts responding before your voice, like, you see how I'm talking to you, this is how we're having, this is how I'm responding to the way certain things are, because of what I put in my body. If you are putting those negative things into your body and your body was reacting negative, like acne, sweating, itching, foot scratching, you're getting a little nervous and anxious and stuff like that, chances are whatever you're consuming isn't the most positive for you. Unless you had the intentions to do something with that, then so be it. But overall, when you have so much of that just literally crap, just sitting in your body, you're gonna get mixed into thinking, like literally gonna trick your brain into thinking what's popular is productive when it is not. Those things that you usually consume are produced to get you to think a certain way, for you to operate a certain way, whether you want to believe it or not, because energy is more subconscious than it is conscious. But if you are conscious, kudos to you. This video, you know, it may not be for you. But those who are not consciously aware of why they do what they do, you know, those things are going to control you, because if you don't get rid of all those negative things, you become it. What's popular isn't always what's productive. And I'm going to leave it like that. Also, I also want to say, before I move on to the last point, your eyes are bigger than your stomach. Meaning, what you see on a broad scale is probably not even what you need. You probably need this much of consumption to get this much results versus this much consumption and get no results. Okay? Your environmental circumstances are detrimental. Are you around negative people? People who want to only put limited beliefs on you when you say, oh yeah, I want to work out. This, oh, you're good, but you're good for this side. Why do you want to work out? This and that. What is your environmental circumstances? You need to be able to identify this stuff so you can be the woman that you want to be. Be the person that you want to be if you're not a woman watching this video. Understand. What are your environmental circumstances? Are you surrounded by positive things for you to get positive results? I will gladly love to admit I am a neurodivergent woman. When I work with people, I have to work in only small amount of people in that work environment. I cannot do busybodies. I don't do gossip. I don't like, I can't, it's not even I don't like loud noises. I don't like people yelling. I don't like people screaming. I don't like negative words or people who are just not in a place energetically to be the best version of themselves. I personally, before I even identified as neurodivergent, before I even could come to the terms of what it was, I knew I had to check out of my environments, because when I was growing up, I didn't have the most positive people around me. I know, and maybe it's just a spiritual thing with me, I can see people's subconscious spirits. Like, your body will speak before your voice speaks to you. And I read body language very well. Whenever I was doing something productive in a negative environment, I felt like all that negativity would come towards me, and then it would result in me saying something that I thought was positive to fix the situation, but I got a negative response. You know what I'm saying? So your environmental circumstances is everything. Those things, being in those atmospheres before I lost weight, I know for a fact was one of those components that made me gain a shitload of weight, because I was always in a constant state of fear. My cortisol levels was through the roof, which the stress of not feeling safe. You know what I'm saying? And that kind of stems into point number one. But overall, I'm not an aggressive person. And when people are aggressive towards me, I kind of almost like, I used to self-sabotage by like overly eating junk foods and crap to calm down. Because one, I did not grow up in an environment where it was safe to be smart. Can you believe that shit? I didn't grow up in an environment where it was safe to be smart. Two, the women in my life were infected by negativity, okay? And three, ultimately, you know, it's kind of shunned on for, I don't know why this bullcrap exists, but then again, in lower poverty, in the lower income levels of growing up in poverty, you know, it's kind of shunned on for you to be a slimmer Black woman. I've noticed it with all my slimmer Black friends. It's kind of like shunned upon, because it's like, oh, you're not eating enough, and this, it's just a bunch of crap. So your environmental circumstances is a key component into why your weight might be, you know, not the place you want it to be, and why you might be too big, you know? Like, think about it. Your physical body is a manifestation of your psychological mind. If you got a lot of excess dead weight on you, that means you got a lot on your mind that you need to get it out the way. Okay? The last point I want to make before I go on my run is that it's your life, it's your rules. If you're past 18, you are responsible for your life. We can no longer, you know, run from our trauma or our shadow side anymore. We can't hide in it in our bodies. Think about it. If you think you're gonna hide behind your trauma and the excess weight and get away with it, chances are you're not. High blood pressure, diabetes, strokes, heart attacks. You can't get away from it. It's better to prevent it versus correcting it when it's too late. If it costs you your peace, it costs you too much. Can you imagine being at dis-ease with yourself? I believe obesity is a disease because it's dis-ease within your body. I acknowledge that. Growing up, I did do a lot of sports and stuff, but I never had the proper nurturing growing up in the foods that I was eating. So I never had my dream body, goddamn it. Goddamn it. It is what it is. But as an adult, we have to face our shadow side issues from our trauma. However, we can't live and base our life and the whole fundamentals and the foundations of how we're going to go about living our life based off of our trauma. If you live in the past, you will forever be a prisoner. Okay? You don't want to be a prisoner of your past. You want to be a present for your future. I know you can't predict the future, but you can decide what's a part of it in your everyday practices. So one of those everyday practices that I want you to implement, and it's your life, your rules, you can do whatever you want, period. But self-awareness and acknowledgement will take you further than anything in this life. Nobody else could tell you how to live your life, and you need to get that in your back of your head, your front of your head, for the rest of your life. Nobody else can tell you how to live your life. It is your life, your rules. Life is all about duality. You have to manage to take anything negative and turn it positive, because sometimes the most positive thing to do is, like, honestly just walking away from anything that doesn't serve you. Like, it costs you your peace, it costs you too much. And that statement is literal. It's not allegory, it is literal. If it costs you your peace, it costs you too much. Because guess what? Think about it. If something's stressing you out, and the only way you know how to smooth this, besides eating, smoking, drinking, screwing around with all these people, it's gonna cost you. If you make a baby, that's gonna cost you 18 years of finances. Okay? It's costing you too much. So you gotta, like, acknowledge what happened and try to acknowledge. And it's not the easiest thing, and I'm telling you right now, it is not the easiest thing. It will never be the easiest thing for you to do. And that's the beautiful part about it, because diamonds are made under pressure. Life can't always be on easy mode. If you want it easy for you, I'm sorry to say, it will not end up in a place where you want to be. And it took my friend dying for me to realize I'm done making excuses for what other people did to me. And I'm not, it's like resentment, it's like drinking poison, expecting the other person to die. I let all of that go, because I have to acknowledge it's my life, my rules. I can't change nobody but myself. I'm the creator of my life story. Life is a marathon, not a race, okay? So, wrapping up this video, that's honestly my perspective on this thing. I will make more videos about how to, you know, transform yourself little by little. I'm still not where I wanted to be, because I told myself in the beginning of my YouTube thing, I wanted, like, fitness to be one of those elements in my channel. I wasn't gonna do it unless I saw some results. And it took a long time. You could scroll back in my videos, probably like a few years back. You could see the beginning. And I kind of grew fearful a little bit, because I'm like, I didn't know what the outcome was going to be. I didn't even know if I was going to get the results that I wanted. But I knew for a fact I didn't want to be fake being 350 pounds and telling people to lose weight, and I didn't even do it myself. So now that I'm on my last 50, you know, I wanted to connect with you guys on this and let it be known it can be done. It doesn't matter where you're at. You rather start now than to procrastinate. Live now, think about it later. Because the only way you're gonna learn is if you start in the beginning. So practicality is gonna solve all your problems. And understand there's about the whole prize concept of life and this and that. Don't worry about what anybody else is telling you. Don't let these people's limited beliefs and external lies and people telling, oh, well, what? It doesn't freaking matter. Because all in all, outside of all those lies, peace within yourself is the prize, okay? So I can't tell you what that looks like. I can only speak from my experience. Whatever happens, whatever the outcome is, you can only identify what peace looks like to you. You know what I'm saying? And understand, on the outside and on the other side of those hard times is a life of paradise. And I want to show you guys something before we leave here. You're not going to get it every single day. These are my move rings. There's going to be days your body just needs to rest. And you need to listen to your body. There's going to be days, you know, when Mother Nature hits. You're not going to want to do it. But you got to keep going, you know? There's going to be days where it's like, you know what? I am just not in the mood. But you have to stay determined. You have to be, I hate to say it, you have to discipline yourself. You are now the creator of your life story. If you're not under the age of 18, you are in charge of your life. You understand? Nobody else is your enemy. Your only enemy is you. Okay? I love you, mean team. So go to MAEVUIM.com/merch if you want to buy any of the merch. I have to go on my run. This conversation was much needed, and I look forward to see you guys in the next video. Bye.